Good evening, Explorer, and welcome to the range, where we're going to be breaking down various weapons, tools, and mechanics of the game's sandbox. Today, we're going to be talking all things 9x18, both the caliber and the weapons that utilize it. Let's get into it. The 9x18 cartridge is one of the first available for your use in-game, designed by Boris Semin?
Семя.
Semin. In 1946, it was utilized just a year later by Nikolai Makarov to design the, Makarov pistol, or PM. It was adopted by the Soviet Union in 1951 and is still used by Russia and other Eastern European countries to this day in their police and law enforcement. What this little round lacks in power, it makes up for in price, being the cheapest and most common ammo in the game, especially in early zones. As far as variety goes, we have 4 flavors of 9x18. Full Metal Jacket, Armor Piercing, Subsonic, and Overpressure. FMJ is your bread and butter round for the early game, plentiful but unremarkable. AP has 90% chance to penetrate enemy armor over FMJ's 30%, but at the cost of 10% of your damage. Subsonic is much quieter, but at a 40% loss to your projectile velocity. And finally, Plus P will deliver double damage to the target, as well as having a 70% armor penetration chance. This is hands down the best type of ammo, but at a much higher premium, well over double the price of FMJ. Now let's look at the pistol that popularized the cartridge, the PM. In-game it has a weight of 0.73 kilos, a mag size of 8, and does 15 damage per shot. It has a thumb safety near the rear of the slide. Remember, if you see red, you can make it dead. Many Russian small arms are renowned for their reliability, and the PM is no different. How I show reliability is not 100 to 0%, rather it's 100 to 50%. At 50% weapon durability, your gun performs the same as if it were 0. The only difference is repair cost. The PM will hit 50% after around 66 mags, or 528 shots. The sights are pretty decent, although it does tend to hit a little bit high. It has a price of $300 in the shop. As far as upgrades go, it's pretty run-of-the-mill. SRL for $400, suppressor adapter for $5, plus 15% reliability for $6, just in case you wanted this thing to be indestructible, and a scope mount for $450. Overall, I'd give the Makarov a 4 out of 10. It's a starter gun, and it gets the job done. Next up is the GSH-18, originally manufactured by the KBP Instrument Design Bureau in Russia, a more obscure firearm. This one also has an oddity. In-game, it uses the 9x18 Makarov round, while its real-life counterpart uses 9x19. It has a weight of 0.73 kilos, same as the Makarov, however it has 2 major advantages. It has a mag size of 18 and does 20 damage per shot as opposed to the Makarov's 15. This gun provides a significant performance improvement over the PM, so what are the downsides? It has a price of $600 at security level 1, which is still very affordable, and has slightly less reliability, taking only 18 mags to put it at 50% durability or 324 shots. This is still quite good, although the larger mags definitely make it feel like it goes much faster. I really like the sights on it as well, which are very comfortable and aligned. For upgrades, we have the exact same as the Makarov. It can be found in metal crates starting in Balatki, and can be found on dead bodies starting at Pobeda Factory. Overall, this is a great option if you're looking for an upgrade, but still want to burn through that massive pile of 9x18 you have. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. Continuing on, we have the PP91, designed by Yevgeny Dragunov in the 1970s. I have never used this gun, because at a surface level, it doesn't seem good. However, if what I learned is correct, this blows all the other 9x18 guns out of the water. Per shot, this supposedly does 30 damage. Double what the Makarov puts out, more on par with the 9x19 weapons. It weighs 1.4 kilograms, and it has both 20 and 30 round magazine options, although only the 30 rounder is purchasable. On the right side of the gun, there's a fire selector switch, the top being full auto, the middle semi, and the bottom safe. From 100 to 50% durability, it will take 14 mags or 420 shots. While testing, I did find the sights were somewhat uncomfortable and tended to hit very low, meaning I had to aim at around the head level to hit the chest. This, however, can easily be fixed with an optic. In the shop, it'll run you around 2,000 flat. Upgrades are a little different this time around. You can get an S-rail and a suppressor adapter as expected, but you can also swap out your base sight for a B-rail, and increase or decrease your fire rate by 20% for 600. If you want one without dropping $2,000, you can get one from a guaranteed stash in Balaki Village. Look for a red valve and a pipe here. Next to it is a boat, and inside of that is the PP91. It can also be found inside metal loot crates in Balaki in general. At first, I put this one off because I didn't want to use 9x18 in a full-sized gun. It just seems silly to sacrifice a rifle slot when I could leave the slot open and bring an extra long gun home with me. I still have to dock at a point for that, but overall this seems like a much better option than what I thought for how early you can get it. And for that, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Alright, let's wrap this up. Some of you are going to be upset by this next one. I am too. Last, and quite possibly least, we have the OC33. Designed by Igor Stechkin around 1995 and produced by KBP, this is what I thought was going to be the cream of the crop, but just ended up being aggressively mediocre. In game, it weighs 1.1 kilos, has a standard mag size of 27, and does 20 damage per shot. It has a thumb selector on the left side, top being safe, middle for semi, bottom for full auto. The major downside for this one is at only 12 mags, it will bring your durability down to 50%. That's 324 shots. The sights are pretty great though, a bit cumbersome, but accurate. It costs $2,200 in the shop and has the same possible upgrades as the PM and GSH-18. If you want to find one, they can be found in metal crates from Pobeda Factory and beyond. Look, I still like this gun, but it has a few issues. Firstly, that awful reliability. You'll be constantly cleaning it in the field if you want to avoid jams, especially on longer excursions. It's also just too expensive compared to other pistols. It's a beast for the early game, but the monetary sacrifice, in my opinion, just isn't justified. I still like this gun because, you know. But due to its overall shortcomings, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 10. Look, I know. Why did the GSH get a much higher rating despite having the same durability, less capacity, and no full auto? It came down to ease of access, perceived durability, and other options available for me. The GSH is much easier to get much earlier on and is a massive improvement over the PM. Due to it not being full auto and having smaller mags, it doesn't feel like they both have the same durability. And lastly, by the time the OC33 gets into your hands, you already have access to the 9x19 options, which are just overall better. You can't ask too much of this round, and there are certainly better pistol calibers in the game. But it does what it needs to do. Just get you by. Until next time, explorers.